Abhishek Das Bakshi to start the presentation. Thank you. And requesting everyone to kindly mute themselves and for better clarity to shut their videos off as well. So Abhishek, over to you, please. Just give a second. Let me bring in all the other participants as well. Yeah, they've come in. You can start, Abhishek. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and thank you, Zaxi sir, and good afternoon to ladies and gentlemen. And thanks for your precious time to come here and attend this workshop, digital workshop, and allow us to showcase our services and the concept for SCMTR. Now, all of you are now aware of SCMTR, but here we want to tell you something that how MMD3, the digital platform, what we call as Master Marine Digitech 3, will actually help to get different kind of services, products related to SCMTR and the logical aspect to that. So the vision of MMD3 is very simple, as Zakshi sir has stated, that it is basically a single platform for the entire shipping and logistic fraternity to provide different kind of digital support related to all kind of documentation processes and on, and which are directly also integrated in different aspects with electronic data interfaces with various softwares of shipping companies as well as for the other logistics fraternity. SCMTR is also part of that, and we are going to take discussion further ahead. Another network, what we have in MMS, you can see that we are covered all the major gateway ports and the inland container depots across the country, and any kind of support we are here to support the trade with 1,500 highly trained and skilled individuals. So any kind of support related to any kind of documentation process or any kind of operational process, LMS team is always there 24 into 7, 365 for the trade. Now coming into the SCMTR, now SCMTR is a very mammoth project and ambitious project which has been launched by Government of India. And the reason they want to do that they want to track their shipment from end-to-end basis. So they, when they decided to go, they decided that who will be the participants into this, and clearly it shows their vision that they have to include all the members of the stakeholders in this particular project. Now they have given some certain names, like we'll go with the first one as given on the presentation screen and which is appearing on the screen, like shipping lines and the vessel agent will be given a role where they will be the key responsible person who can prepare the arrival manifest or the departure manifest, which will be known as sea arrival manifest and sea departure manifest, and also will be responsible to submit their amendments for import and export, which will be called as sea arrival amendments and sea departure manifest amendment. And subsequently, they also have to declare their vessel husbandry part, which is related to SEI, sea entry inwards, and SDN, sea departure notification. I'll come to the SCMTF part later, but these are the main, unique messages that they have to circulate to IceGate. So all the records can be updated by them, and there will be different kind of unique numbers in terms of cargo summary notification or the e-seals or different kind of MCIN. All these will be unique numbers of every shipment which they want to track. So the authorized sea carriers or the authorized sea agents, which we known as a liner or the agent, will be responsible to file up the main manifest. The next important role will be played by the freight forwarders in VOCCs and consolidators, who will be called now ANC, authorized other notified carrier. Now, what the role that they are going to play? Now, up to now, they were not doing anything. They were only submitting the details to the concerned shipping liner or the agent. But now, customs has given them the opportunity that they can even update their house BL's record in a prescribed format, which will be called as CSN. They're not going to file the CSN. They are going to compile all the information related to house BL, and there will be a unique PCI and will be consolidated primary cargo identification number, and the NTCs will be able to and the ANCs will be able to apply for the CSN. In return, they will get a CSN number, which will be again forwarded to the concerned ASC or the AASA. Now, in some cases where a ANC will be not able to do that, the same thing can be forwarded to the concerned ASC or the ASA. The IE holders or the custom brokers will also have their role to play. There will be a bigger role. They have to create the shipping bill. Now, this digitalized format of shipping bill has been started at most all the places, at all the gateway ports and ICD locations. So they have to submit their details accordingly. They have to get their recent submission, and the same will be updated in the cargo details. When we update this and all these details will be updated. So you can see that everywhere every stakeholder will play their individual role, and in a bigger aspect, the sea arrival manifest or the sea departure manifest will be created at the end. Similarly, there is other key player like the railway, the transporters, the truckers, who will be knowing as authorized carrier. So every authorized carrier will have to file their arrival manifest or the departure manifest. So that will be also related with the earlier MCI 11 or the cargo details. The custodian, mainly for the ICDs or the CFS, they will play their role of filing and declaring the details for stuffing and stripping of the cargo. So they also will play a vital role into that. And lastly, the port and the terminals, they will also issue the VCN. They will also, the liner will apply for the VCN. The VCN will be created, and the port and the terminals will be communicating with IceGate to create the rotation where the actual thing, all the information will start flowing for that particular rotation details. So you can see all these stakeholders come into the picture and create a bigger aspect of SCMPR. Now, this is the key features and the takeaways of SCMPR and why this was, taken care by Indian Customs. Previously, we have got lots of dates since a year, but somehow it was gets postponed. And now the final date has been decided at 1st October 2020, where they want to implement, but it will be on a parallel basis where the existing system will also run parallelly, and the customs will allow to submit the details on a testing on a UAT basis or the testing basis, so that you will also get habituated to create your CSNs or arrival manifest or different kind of messages, whatever is required to be done. And the messages can be, fine tuned and all, whether the technicalities is concerned or other operational aspects are concerned. Now, why this has been done? This SCMTR process has been done because customs, they want to trace and track your cargo from end to end basis. So that is the reason all the stakeholders have been, consolidated and participating in this entire project. Now, this module, as you can see, this module has been, taken, inspired from this European manifestation regulation, and government of India have given time to examine all these things, and from there they have taken the best options, and they want to implement the SCMTR in India. Still, we are struggling a bit with the registration part, and what we are anticipating that this project can be a bit late by November or so. But before that, we want to complete all these 10 things, and with the data updations are concerned, we are fully ready with that. And the lastly, as I said, this numbers, when I said that every shipment will have an unique number. Now, this MCIN number or the master cargo identification number plays a very important role into the entire project, where every number, the MCN number will carry forward all the details from import to export. Like from import, it will be at the port of destination, and for the export, it will be the port of loading. So within that MCN number, the customs of the authorized body will be able to track the cargo, and it will be also able to keep that MCN number for any kind of reference for further process. Now, going to the next, this registration process, as we say, this is a very, painful area that almost all the ANCs are getting struggle to get themselves registered. But customs said the whomsoever having the bill of entry or the involvement with this project need to get registered themselves with a bond and a bank guarantee of 10 rupees, and they have to follow and submit certain kind of documents which is required to be uploaded in ICAT and get them registered. They will get their credentials where from that they can log in and submit their manifest or the information or the the JSON files, whatever terms we say, they can exchange all these details, and your file can be also acknowledged within that. So the registration is very key, and we hope every one now has so far had got registered. And if not, then we request you to go to IceGate, take their assistant and get yourself registered. Now coming to the brief of SCMP registration, now ASC is the authorized sea carrier and the authorized sea agents. Now we have two options, import and export, and how it is happened. This is where we want to share these things with you. The AC or the ASA to submit the sea arrival manifest prior to the vessel departure from the last port of call before calling. Say the vessel is calling from Gulf and maybe the port said. So whatever document to be submitted has to be submitted earlier for the import section. And before the vessel depart from port of trade, the entire sea arrival manifest or combination of CSN and EPN have to be collaborated and submitted in the ICE. And there is an amendment part also that we will be coming in the next slides, but this is the process that they want to implement. So there will be a time gap where everybody needs to submit their document, consolidate and submit in IceGate. Similarly, for export, the role for AC and the ASA, they will be responsible to submit their sea departure manifest prior to the departure of the vessel from India. So whatever vessel depart from India or one Indian port to another, that time you have to submit your departure manifest or SDA. Now, these are the key features that and the data which we have tabled down, and this was been taken from the IceGate portal itself. That the key role holders, how they will be collecting and providing the details to customs. Now, when we are discussing for mainly for forwarders, the ANCs, now they will have this rotation number details which will be given by the carriers like ASC or the SA. Then they can collect their house bill or the master detail bill, uh, update the system, and later on with the vessel details and all of your details related with cargo, related with fuel and all, you have to create the PCIN. With the collaboration of PCIN, you have to consolidate the PCINs, multiple PCINs, and then apply for your CSN. So these are the data structure, which are the data to be required to prepare your details. And this is the same page where also the shipping wheel part will take a vital role to collect and gather all information related to your cargo details. So integration with shipping wheel with this plays a major role. So we also have this facility to offer the customer whatever the shipping will get updated, it automatically get integrated for SCMTR. So this is the key features and details which need to be, prepared and submitted in customs with the proper data. Now, this is the flows of document which will be required for import. Most of them like CSN is common for import and export both, and everybody is aware. Though I'll tell you, this is the cargo summary notification which is required to submit the details for your house BL mainly by the freight forwarder and the consolidator, but we say as ANC here. The sea arrival manifest, as you said, no, the sea arrival manifest to be submitted after ASC or the ASA, they consolidate every CSN and the MCIN, they prepare the SAM and submit the details on IceGate. See arrival amendment. Now the amendment. What is happening right now for IGM? You have to get approval from any customs officer to any kind of amendment. But for the new system of the sea arrival amendment, you can file your sea arrival amendment without approval till the filing of departure notification. Means once you submit the departure notification, then you can't. But before that, you can update your sea arrival amendment. But there will be a specific time. Up to that time, you can do that. And lastly, this is maybe not for the ANC, but for the ASC or the ASA, the sea entry inward, which is related to the vessel details, vessel husbandry part, and the storing, crewing, all details have to be also created and submitted. So the customs want to track that if anything coming from the vessel, what are the stored details, whatever the crew details. So each and every details, like if there is a same bottom container also, so that has to be tracked with some unique numbers. So this is the specific, flow for import. And to brief you more, like how you can file up your messages to customs with a proper timeline. Now, customs says there will be a different kind of policies. Like we have bifurcated. Okay. We have three kind of haulages, like short haulages, medium haulages, and long haulages. Short haulages, if our vessel is coming from Karachi to Mundra, so the time will be taking very less. So within that particular 48 hours of time, so 6 hours of your time, you can submit your CSN or the arrival manifest. More than that, say a vessel is arriving from Gulf section, then it will take more time. Then you can have the time of 48 to 96 hours for the departure of the last vessel and the arrival for the next port. The arrival manifest, or you can say you can also submit your CSN details to be updated 24 hours prior to the estimated arrival. Similar for the longer haulage also, they have given some timing. This timing can be changed, depends on the customs regulation, but this is the basic timing that the thing can be done. The sea arrival amendment can be also filed before the vessel arrives in any Indian port, before they have given this time 48, 24 or 6 hours. So this is how they have given the details, and within this timeline you have to file up your information. The next slide says the process flow of sea arrival manifest or the SAM, like how it is goes before departure from the last port, as I said, of the call, the filing of arrival manifest is required. Now, how it will start? It will start with the rotation number. So the liner will communicate with port. They will have this VCN of the via. Then with that VCN one via, they will also communicate with the customs and they will have the rotation. So the rotation will be linked accordingly. So after that, before departure from the last port of call, you have to file your arrival manifest. And before the vessel arrive to the port of call, you can share your amendment, whatever required, with IceGate without having any kind of approvals. Now it has to be done before you submit your ACI, which we said already that C entry inward. After that, all the master VL related information to be consolidated by the liner or the agent to get the master cargo identification number, the unique number which is required, which will be carry forwarded in different Indian ports where the vessel will be going by. Now the MCIN number has to be kept, and as I said, it will be moved forward along with the vessel, along with the next port of calls. So you can have one single unique numbers at a time for all India vessels, all India, wherever the vessel will be going to any of the Indian ports. So we have, finished the import cycle. Now moving forward for the export. Now export, what kind of information and all can be submitted. Now, again, it is CSN. CSN is a very important part, as I said. This is the cargo summary notification related to your house bill and all. Now, you have to collect your PCIN. Now, PCIN stand for every shipping bill will be calling up with one PCIN. So, multiple PCIN need to be consolidated and have to be filed, apply for the CSN. You will get a CSN number for that. Now, this CSN number to be submitted to the concerned liner, and after that, they will also consolidate with their master details and will create the sea departure manifest. Similarly, any kind of amendment that also need to be done before the vessel, you file up the sea departure notification. And what is sea departure notification? Again, this is related to the vessel and the husbandry part, which has to be updated once the vessel is out of Indian coastal border or the water border, we'll say that will be the correct word. So you have to file up all these things, and for SDM, SDA, and SDN, this is the concern of the shipping liner or the ASAAC. For CSN, you have the customs has given the facility that the freight forwarders, consolidators, or the MBOCCs can directly file up their part. This is the flow chart that I was saying with the flow that the ANC or the IC will provide the LEO details, that is the shipping bill details, which is very important on IceGate to get the PCIN. Now, the every PCIN will be consolidated and will be able to apply for CSN. There is nothing called CSN submission. CSN submission is by the ANC to the liner. So after receiving of CNC, the NC will submit to the same to ASA or the ASC. ASC and ASA will then merge the record to his own master bill record. Shipping liner or the ASC will consolidate all the existing details and will prepare the SDM, as I said. And submission after SDM, if there is any amendment, the amendment to be filed prior you submit your sea departure notification. So after that, the amendment to be filed, and finally the sea departure notification to be submitted. So the entire process gets completed like this with the export cycle. Now, how can the ANC, when we say ANC, I'm highlighting the freight forwarders, the consolidators, as well as for the MBOCCs, can file the CSN. Now, if you have the facility with your in-house system or whatever the way, you can do it by your own through help of any kind of platform like us, or else if you don't have this facility, you can directly submit your details to the concerned ASC or the ASA, and they will create the CSN and submit on your behalf. Now the other way you can use our portal, and we have all the facility. You can update your shipping bills also earlier, and you can extract all the data. You can carry forward your information, and you can create the uh, you can create the JSON as per the prescribed format which is customers given and apply for the CSN. So CSN can later be submitted to the liner also through the application itself. There is no requirement for any kind of SMTP exchange or email exchange. Now, as per MMD3 is concerned, we have tied up with different software, logistic software vendors, where this data can be integrated from in-house system to ours, and there will be no requirement of you to log into MMD3, update the details, and can be do a duplication kind of work. So all these things are being said. We have that state of technology that can help you to do a single setup job. Now, this is the as we were discussing, as I was discussing, that how the CSN submission to IceGate by the agencies happened. Like now, every cargo or the every shipment will be given one unique number. So whatever shipping bill has been updated, you will be receiving one PCIN. So all these PCIN will be consolidated under one format, submit, and you will get the CSIN against that, which need to be submitted at the concerned liners, and the liners will also consolidate those in CSN with their master details and will file up the SAN. So this is how the things will go, and this is the process that how we from MNB3 will be helping the trade to create their CSN. That you once you get registered with us, you will be getting the credential. You log in, you enter your details, or you can integrate your details. You can upload your details. So a lot of options are being given for you as per your ease, so that you can exchange the data. You can update the details on the platform or the portal. You can create your CSN on a single page. It is very easy. When I will come to the next slides, you will be able to understand that you can create your CSN, you can submit the CSN with a digital signature of yours, and the file will be go to IceGate. Now, once it goes to IceGate, it will go back with the acknowledgement and the CSN number, which CSN number can be again updated on the portal itself. And with a click of one button, the information can be submitted to the concerned liner. So this is how the process has been simplified for the trade to use. Now, advantage, this is mainly for the AC and the ACs, the advantage that they also get, consolidate all the CSN on the portal. It helps them to create the SDM. So when they get all the details, they can consolidate easily. They can create their master related details also, and the SDM can be prepared and submitted. Similarly, for the C departure amendment also, they can amend on the same and submit. And it also helps them to create the husbandry part, which we call as ACI or SDM. Now, this is the premium features we are offering to the trade, that once you select the portal for your CSN or the SCMPR, you can also do different kind of services with us, whether it is related to VGM, which is a DG certified. You have can apply different kind of free advices at various ports in India for raid and roll. You can have e-delivery. You can have e-shipping bill, which is a very important. And I suppose if you are doing SCMP, and then e-shipping bill will be a mandate for you to submit the document. And as well as we have a very unique feature called forwarding note, which is being implemented in India very first time for ICD location precisely, with all kind of validation, so that we have a 0% errors. Now, why this has been all done? And as I said, we are being integrated with various software, logistic software partners, so it can reduce the data entry effort and errors. So we are integrated with them. So whatever you update your in-house system, those APIs will help to flow the data properly to us, and we will consolidate it as per the prescribed format and submit it to IceGate or any other authorized body. Now, digital signature will be required, and we are taking it. We are coming with the new solution that the digital signature can be implemented on the portal itself. You can put your USB, put your digital signature on the JSON, and can later submit the thing to IceGate directly. And once you get the acknowledgement, as I say, CSN is an acknowledgement number. When you get your CSN, you can directly update on the portal itself to avoid multiple email communication. Now, there are a lot of multiple email communication which can be stopped on immediate basis. So your emails remain simple and small. So this is the entire premium features that we are providing to the trade. Now, I'm moving to the screen that you will be mostly liking, and will be eager to see that how the things work. Now, this is we have master, which create your vessel voyage, which will be under control by the shipping liner, and they will also create their husbandry part accordingly. So this is the page how the vessels and all are created. Now you can see there are these visible tabs. I'm just moving the red marker. Now you can see there are different tabs has been given. So all these tabs place different kind of information, whether it is for vessel detail, whether it's related to vessel eternity, ship eternity, arrival departure details, ship details, store details. So different kind of details can be updated for ACI or SDN. You can see this is the master, vessel master, voyage master, and the husbandry. So the crew details and everything can be updated easily over there. It can be updated manually, it can be updated through Excel also. Now coming to the transaction, this is the page where everyone will be interested to how the data can be captured. Now this is the detail where you can capture your house bill or the master bill. We have a section for house bill and separate section for master bill also. So all this information, whether related to your cargo, the related to your container, related to your eternity, all these details as per the customs prescribed format are being given. Now, if I click a mouse, you can see this is the cargo related details and all which gets automated populated if you are using the shipping bill details only. So no need to update it again and again. If the details are already available with you as per the Leo in the portal, all these things can be automatically carried forward. And we have the ship the cargo itinerary where you can also control your same bottom cargo, and you can also give the last three ports and upcoming three ports as per the regulated format. Now, once all these details are being captured properly, that is including the IC details of the consignee and the consigner. Now you can go straight to the IceGate tab where you can see three options given: CSN, report, import manifest, and export manifest. Now, if you are interested for a CSN report, click that option and you will be having this page where you can see with selection of your vessel voyage, and the entire details of HBL will come to your dashboard. Now, once those details come, you can select your details. You can go and validate your record. There is an auto validation given, and you can later on generate your JSON. So once you click, your JSON will be created, and the same can be uploaded on IceGate with having your digital signature. See, like this, once you click, you will have a particular format of JSON where you can download and put your digital signature and submit on IceGate. After that, the IceGate will confirm you with the CSN. And in the next tab, you can see it has given an update CSN update ACIN. You can update that number on that particular. You will receiving CSN on your email ID, registered email ID, or on the portal itself, which can be copied and submit over here. Once it is done, there is a button I have given. You can see in the last page, submit to shipping line, and you have to click that. So the number will automatically go to the shipping line login. So you don't have to do any kind of mail. The number with along with your house bill and all the records will get automated to the shipping. So this is the JSON file creation, and this is how after receiving the CSN details from you and working on the all the MBL details with when they consolidate the details, the shipping liner will go to the export manifestation part. They will select the message types which is required like SDM, SDN, and SDN. They can select and they can select their vessel voyage. Accordingly, they can also view the BL details, that this is the master BL, and under this master BL, how many house BLs are there and filed or not. You can see. So they can actually select, they can validate their record, and they can create the JSON file. Same goes for import, like you can see, and as well as they can see the general histories, that how many times they have gone through with the processing. So all these details can be viewed and controlled by the AAC or the ASA, and later on they can generate this JSON file. The JSON file looks same for your CSN as well as for your C arrival manifest as well as for your C departure manifest. So they have the details, and we have created this JSON according to their need, which will go to customs with having your digital signature. So this is how the entire process has been set up from our end, and MMD is going to support you for submitting your details to IceGate. So thank you. That's all. And thanks for your patience to understand and the entire process of SCMP. And over it to Justice sir, so that you can take it from here. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Abhishek. Much appreciated. Biju, we are open for any questions that the participants may have. I would request them to kindly unmute, and my team would be happy to take it to the best extent possible. In case we are not able to answer any, we would request them to come back to you.
Yeah, so thanks, Dexter. Once again, I mean, quite an informative presentation. To the point, I think the floor is open. Individuals can probably unmute and ask one by one, or if they have the chat mode also, they can put it in the chat.
Yes, we'll be happy to and we can do the next.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
I'm Kulkarni from Fiber Science Private Limited.
Yes.
Yeah. My first question is that our registration is almost all completed, but we are getting one message from the IceGate that we have to submit hard copy of self-declaration to the JNPT customs. Our person is going 3-4 times. He went 3-4 times, but nobody is telling the exact location and the person to whom we submit this self-declaration hard copy.
Sir, I will send you our what you call contact details later on. Please contact our office. They will guide you to whom to go to.
Okay. And second question, simple. As we are NVOCC, so is it mandatory for the bond and bank guarantee for us?
Yes, sir.
For
For
NVOCC?
yes, Abhishek, you want to answer that? It is for every entity, ASN and associated carrier as well. But Abhishek, you want to answer that?
No, actually, I think Mr. Nandu can answer on this. Mostly they have.
Nandu, go ahead, please. No, they have to. I know that for a fact. But Nandu, go ahead, please. I'm unmuting you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. AEO is the direct registration part, and other than AEO, all of them to hand over the 10 lakh check, and they have to register on the ISGate.
Okay. Just a second. So we have applied for the AEO, but still not received the AEO. Then what we should do?
Yeah, you can
Can we
contact
mention-
JNPT appraising officer. He is sitting at JNPT custom,
Okay.
yes, custom house.
JNPT
custom house.
appraisal officer. Okay.
Yes.
In JNPT customs, on which floor?
That I will inform you on later. You can give me the contact number, and I will inform you.
Can I give right now my contact number?
Yes, sir. No issue.
98
Right, sir.
204
Right, sir.
52
Yes.
861. Kishore Kulkarni.
Okay,
Taurus
sir.
Lines Private Limited.
I will contact you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other questions, please?
No,
Hi, this is Jagdish here.
Mine is
Yes, please. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Jagdish.
So I was saying once you receive the shipping bill and once you receive the Leo, all those information will be auto-populated, correct?
Yes.
But I just want to understand how are you gonna connect the container number with the cargo description? Because I believe in shipping bill you do not get the container number.
Abhishek?
The container number you will be having in the beginning only, because you will be doing the pre-prices. So once you have the details and the Leo details against that container, you can update the container details.
Correct, but then I need to marry my container number with the shipping bill and Leo manually.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, please?
Hello.
Hello, yes?
Yeah, sir. I just want to know, as a freight forwarder, it is mandatory to get that registration.
Yes.
Yes.
No, but what we heard from the other sources, that freight forwarder is not the one who's directly manifesting the IGM or EGM details custom. So that registration is not valid for freight forwarders.
Madam, you have to be responsible, filing of your CSN, and since you are holding the BLs, you have to give a bond of 10 lakh rupees. First get, then accordingly, you will be issued because under your details, the CSN and all the things will be created. So in that terms, you have to get
Okay.
yourself registered on ISO.
Okay, let me just tell this lady who asked the question.
Yes, yes.
Any freight forwarder who does any consolidation of any cargoes, that means he is going to be dealing with shipping bills. So he can not file for his CSN if he does a consolidation unless he's not a registered AEO. So you all have to be registered if you are, in order to get the PCN numbers, if you're filing a direct shipping bill, or if you're doing a consolidation of X number of shipping bills in one container to get a CSN number, you all have to be registered in the ICE gate as AEOs, failing which you cannot perform the job.
Thank you, Captain. Any other questions, please? Okay, thank you.
Just a minute. I'll just give an update. There was a meeting which was called today by the commissioners on the issue that we were flagging off between ourselves on the editable shipping bills. The meeting was a total fiasco. They couldn't even connect to anybody. So you can understand what is going to happen with SCMT after this.
Yes, we are a long way off from being live, that's for
We are a
sure.
long way off because they have now finally started realizing that the shipping bills are all editable.
Okay. There is one more question from Anjali. If you're getting a query in shipping bill upload, then whom do we need to contact? So definitely we will be giving you the helpline numbers for anything that you may require, any questions, we have a 24/7 customer service desk, which will assist you to the best extent possible. And that should sort all your problems out. There is also a question from Mr. Rohit McCurtis regarding the PPT. We will be sharing the PPT and the YouTube. We'll be sharing it via YouTube, the entire event. So you can take the PPT will be showcased there along with all the contact numbers. And should you require another presentation to be made, we would be happy to do so.
Just one more question. As a terminal, they are already sending SMTR information to the customs. So why do, as a shipping line, I have to send it again?
Can you come back in?
So as terminals, they are already sending SMTR updates to the customs. So
What
as a-
SCMTR are they sending? And who's
Sorry?
sending it? Who's sending the SCMTR?
the terminal.
The question is not gelling. There's something missing out here.
Okay. So my cargo information and everything is already going by the terminal.
See,
Why-
the cargo information of all the boxes which are being loaded, discharged or loaded, they will always be available to you on the terminal's website. That is for you all to figure it out that yes, it is there. You can do a cross check from there. But sending a mail individually to every container consigned party, the terminal will not do it. Terminal got nothing to do with that. all that will only come out of the actual shipping agent who is supposed to tell his whose BL is concerned in the whole thing. It is his duty to inform the trade as to whose cargo is arriving or not arriving.
But don't you think it is a redundant work?
Which one?
Even though the terminal has the information, the trade is being asked to send the same information again.
Sir, it is like this, that if you are actually, what do you call, you see the terminal, as I just told you, will only give you a loading and discharging figure. If that is enough for you to pick it up from the websites of the terminal, it's fine by everyone concerned. The actual, now let us say your box is coming by CMS CGM. Wouldn't you want to have a notice coming from them that your so-and-so cargo is coming on so-and-so vessel, ETA so-and-so, berthing on so-and-so date? Wouldn't you want that to happen, or would you want to go, you wouldn't know which terminal the vessel is docked in?
Today we already have that communication link for any cargo that we are
So
getting.
as long as you're happy, it's okay. What comes from the other party, you can do what you want. You can discard it.
Okay.
If you're happy with the terminal's information on the website, that's pretty good for anybody else. Leave it at that.
All right.
Okay. The next question, sorry. So there's been repeated questions about the presentation. We will be sharing it on the YouTube channel, and if required, we will also share the presentation. That's not an issue. If you have, there is one question from Mr. Harish Ralwani. If you have already registered as a console agent, do you need to re-register? Captain, if you could assist here, please.
Sir, I would say please don't take a chance. We were all registered ASAs and ASCs, but we are redoing it again. In the SCMPR, they have not picked up their old data from your previous registrations. They want you to register again.
Yes, you have to register again as in a SCMP.
The Captain, speak a little louder, Captain Chodhan.
Yeah, you have to. I completely agree with Captain Jasbir. You have to register again as a consolidator, in a SCMP.
ANC, as an ANC, you have to register.
Yeah, when we go to the SGate under SCMP.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, anything else? Any other questions, please? Also, I just want to inform, some panelists had asked this question about the SCMTR registration. So my team has just informed me that Mr. Meena is the appraising officer. He's seated on the second floor of the EPI section in the JNP Custom House. He will help on the SCMTR registration. So Mr. Kulkarni, I think, had asked this question. I think if he goes, sends his team there.
Sir, hello?
Yes.
Sir, if we are custom brokers, do we have to re-register ourselves also for SCMTR?
I think so. I think Captain Jasbir Singh just said that. Captain, can you ratify that, please?
CHS basically are having their own licenses. They have to go back and renew it. See, this SCMT is a new game by itself. So even the people with the old registrations are not sucked in from the old data. Everybody has to register fresh. So don't even take a chance tomorrow. Don't be surprised in case your name doesn't exist over there.
So in short, everyone should re-register. That's the
best part.
Sir, because I was trying to register on IceGate, re-registration, but I'm getting an error that you are not allowed to logged in. So I just forwarded the same to the IceGate team also regarding this.
Did you get a response from them?
No, they are just trying to sort it out, but still I haven't received any response.
You see, we are all registered shipping agents, and we are all still waiting in the queue for the last 1 year to get confirmation from them.
Yeah, sir, I'm regularly having a follow-up with them, but even they are not able to just make out what is the problem.
I agree, Neha. Right now, the situation here is that today there was supposed to be a meeting on this SCMTR registration with the chief commissioners in Nhava Sheva. And unfortunately, they couldn't get the connections right. So the entire webinar was wasted for 1 hour doing nothing.
Okay, sir.
That was the one at 11:30, right, today?
Yeah.
Oh.
12:30.
And,
Even the
secondly,
12:30 one
sir,
went.
12:30,
there is
sorry.
a further question.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
So actually, the thing is that the freight forwarding is done through my father's company. Okay. So can it be possible that the data from my father's company can get joined in my company? I mean, the data can be pulled out. See, the freight forwarding company and the custom broker company is altogether different. One is in my father's name, one is in my dad's name. So final, when the details should be uploaded, how we can extract the details of the both? Because the this thing forwarding company is different from the CHA line.
You will
So
have
how
to.
we
Do you have
Yeah,
two
the
different
data will
PAN
flow.
numbers? Is your father's company and your company are definitely having two different PAN numbers? Register them separately, please.
okay?
You have to register separately. Every each and PAN number will have a separate registration.
Okay. But sir, the final, I mean, whatever the information has to be uploaded, it can be done by freight forwarding registration company also, right?
So if you are a CV, custom broking agency, then it will be a different role. You can't do it on freight forwarding one.
No. For that, whatever you, at the end you show the PPT.
No,
Of
Abhishek,
all
I
the
think
data
she is
which we
speaking about MMD3. Yeah, ma'am, you can have the shipping bill data as from the CHA,
Yes,
and
you can do that. You
that
can
will
do
be
that.
carried forward for the forwarded data. That is a
Yes,
must. So,
that can be done. That is
yeah.
system related issue that can be done.
Yeah, in fact, if the CHA does not use the portal, also the forwarder can upload the CHA
Absolutely.
Excel file in the from his option. That is no problem.
Absolutely. Because you will have to get this PCN number collected and submit this Leo details on our portal, which will consolidate all your PCN into CSN.
okay.
Mr. Manikanta Raju has raised his hand. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. I have the one small query. Actually, we have the NOCC company. We have already registered in IC Gate. I have the problem there when I create the SCMDR registration. It's showing there is a PAN card error. PAN name instead of PAN name which is coming.
There is a lot
Actually,
of
my
disturbance. There is a lot of disturbance coming from you, sir.
Raju, we are unable to hear you properly.
May I request you to please put it on the chat? We will try to answer, or alternatively, you can contact our helpline, and we will get back to you, sir. Because we can't hear you. There is just too much this disturbance. Sorry. Anything else from anyone else? We would be happy to take these questions. Anything more? Please unmute and then speak. So Biju, I think, Biju, I think we have everything. I will share with you our YouTube link so that you could take it up from there. And alternatively, also all the helplines. So any one of the members who has questions subsequently can contact us.
Fair enough, Jackson. So we'll do that way. Once you share it, I would probably, in the group share with the people.
Yeah, and if you require us to present again, please let us know. We'd be happy to do so.
Fair enough.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
So that's it. I think we've got most of the clarification today. And for anything else, as you have rightly said, they would approach your helpline, and you're always available as the forum.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone very much for spending the time. Thank you, Captain Jasbir Singh, for assisting us as well in answering these questions. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe. Thank you.